terms of the Arne Slot impact as well, Jan, in regards to very much his impact on this Liverpool side, I felt it was a very special moment. Again, it just goes to show the humility, really, of Arne, the first Dutch manager to win the Premier League as well. Obviously, is chanting Jurgen Klopp's name as well. It was a passing of the guard come what the end of last season, but it's just a special football club. We do things our own way, but how good has he been for you? He's, for me, have been extremely taken aback by just how quickly he's taken to the reins at Liverpool. It's unprecedented. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti and certain other managers in the Premier League have won it in their first season, but the style, the vigor, the everything about the way in which this Liverpool side is played. We spoke obviously before the pre-Paris Saint-Germain game, didn't we? The last pod I done with you, and it was one of them where Paris Saint-Germain already this week have showed how good they are. But Arne Slot with this Liverpool side, Jan, it's still levels to his game in terms of development in the team as well.
Yeah, I think there's every chance that the team under Arne Slot is going to improve. So will others. Others will try and bounce back and try and improve as well. I'm sure somebody will do a review of the season and put all the stats compared to what we used to do, compared to what we've done this season. So for a lot of people, it's a lot easier to see what the big differences is in terms of what we've done here. But I just think that there's a couple of things, isn't it? You know, and I think, and this sounds so simple, doesn't it? But the greatest gift a footballer has is player availability. You know, if you're a good player, a great player, and you're always available, wow, what a bonus that is. So Arne Slot is a football manager, football coach who has his players available. His record shows that. Final at Liverpool, the players are available. And I also think this thing about, so when Jurgen Klopp was the manager, because of the energy and everything about, we loved winning 3, 4, 5s. That was what Klopp was about, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. I think Arne Slot has gone to the players, listen, we scored 2 goals a game. Yeah. We're not going to draw or lose many, because I don't believe that many teams are capable of scoring twice against us. So if you look at the difference, Jack, and the difference is unbelievable. We have failed to score 2 or more goals in 5 Premier League games this season. Yeah. So that's Everton twice against Forest, Crystal Palace, whatever. Arsenal have failed to score 2 or more on 15 occasions. What a massive difference that is.
All those draws as well.
It's a massive difference. Arsenal also have drawn 13 games. Yeah. They've led in 9 of those, can't hold on. I believe we have, and I don't quite know the number, but I believe we have 15 plus 1 goal wins this year. Yeah, 1 goal. We won by 1 goal, but we've held on. Arsenal couldn't hold on. We could. So somebody will be able to come up with the stats. What is it that we do when we're winning 2-1 with 15 minutes to go? How do we then deal with the game? And I think that's Arne's real strength, is that we're now winning 2-1. That'll do. You get no more points for winning 3-1 or 4-1. 2-1 is enough, or 2-0, and we see the game out. So I'm sure somebody will go up with stats and go, Liverpool in the last 15, 20 minutes would have done something that would probably blow your mind.
Yeah, I think spot on there, mate. In terms of, I think you mentioned the availability being the best form of and that goes to, I think I was watching TV this week. I think they were the background lads that they've brought in as well, and ladies, in terms of bringing in the football and operations. We know financially Liverpool, some of the best financially commercial teams in the best commercial team in the world in terms of what we generate, but the lads and ladies in the back in terms of nutritionists, sports science, every department, it's no luck Liverpool have become one of the best sides in European football over the last 10 years. We've got the best data analysis people as well in the game. I think we just poached a certain individual from Manchester City this season as well to add already to the data side, and I was reading a couple of articles, renowned as one of the best in the business as well. So yeah, to add to everyone at the club as well. But that's what's needed, Jan, and to be, I think, one of the greatest teams, you just need to be bringing in the best in the business. But as you said, keeping the players fit, most importantly. But I think that's one aspect in terms of substitutions for Arne as well. It's a massive facet of any manager's locker, really. I look and analyse, we mentioned Arsenal before, with the sheer amounts of draws that they've had. But I've watched Arsenal sometimes, majority of the times this season, and it's playing Saka every single week. Lewis Skelly, I think they're going to run him into a brick wall at one point. The sheer amount of minutes, it's above expectation, really. He's going to eventually succumb to some injuries, as has Saka already this season, Jan. But yeah, it's in terms of...
I also think a big thing, Jack, is that we haven't had to make many desperation substitutes. We haven't had to make many substitutions where we were losing 2-1 with 5 minutes to go, and we need 3 players on to change the game. A lot of substitutes have come on with us being in front, and they've come on to be part of being able to control that result or hold on to that result. And just in terms of the backroom staff, and I do firmly believe that this is the benefit of having American owners, because I always think that it was one of the things overlooked in the British game was the importance of people, non-players. So I'm from mainland Europe. In mainland Europe, they've had director of football clubs for years that buys the players. I came to this country, it was left in the hands of Kenny Dalglish, Ronnie Moran, Tom Saunders, and whatever. When the game went global, you needed to improve that. You need the best in the business. And I think the American owners we have never denied a Liverpool manager the best in the business, whether that's a physio, whether that's a club doctor, whether that's a masseur, whether that's a dietitian, whether that's the people to analyse everything, whether that's the people to bring in the players. And I think that's very important. You get the best in the business.
Yeah, it's a great point you've raised there. And just quickly on, and that's where the title of Arne Slot has originated, obviously come in as a head coach, very against the modern, not obviously outside of Europe, we know in Italy, a lot of other countries do it as well. But in England, it's more or less, as we know, Jurgen was a manager, and I do feel personally was doing too much. Hence why I do feel he was absolutely knackered, because it's the weight and the expectation of managing Liverpool Football Club. Many of the managers have come into Liverpool and struggled, and it hasn't quite worked out. But the very special few that it has, then you've just been extremely the best in the business, really, Jan. But I found that. How do you feel in terms of being a head coach? Is there much differences between, in the modern game, a head coach compared to obviously Jurgen as a manager, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of difference, but I also think it takes the pressure off whoever's in charge, because, and I don't think the lines are drawn as clear as we think. So we have this idea that Arne Slot is the head coach, and we have Richard Hughes and all the boys that bring in the players, isn't it? But let's not kid ourselves. Of course, Arne Slot is part of that conversation. But I think with him being a head coach, and some people think he doesn't have the influence, it also protects him in a certain way. Yeah. So I think that's important for your manager, or the coach, because there's only so much you can do, isn't it? I always used to think that, back in the day, even when Kenny Dalglish was player manager, you know what I mean, and he's driving around watching players, and you think this is madness. This is absolutely madness, and there's enough to do with managing a team. And so when I played, and I hate always harping back, but when I played, you managed the team, you treated everybody the same, which we always led to believe was the strength of Liverpool Football Club. We treat everybody the same. We treat John Walker the same as we treat Sir Kenny Dalglish. But maybe that wasn't a strength, because today you're dealing with 25, 30 players, and you deal with everyone in their own way. I remember 10, 12 years ago when I spoke to the dietitian at Anfield, and we're talking about food and whatever, and she said, "But Jan, do you for 1 minute think that we serve them all the same breakfast?" She said, "We don't give the Brazilians the same as we give the British, and we don't give the Germans the same." He said, "So we cater to what they're used to. Everybody is treated as an individual. So as a football manager, as a head coach, you're not dealing with a group, you're dealing with individuals. Everybody has their own little quirks. In our day, if you turn up with anything, so I turned up from Ajax, and I was used to having massage before the game. I was used to having strappings, and I was used to warming up. That's what we did. So I came to Liverpool, no massage, Strappings, Jan, we'll consider that once you've been here for 10 years. And we never warmed up before a game. So they took that away from what I used to do. But they'd never do that today. If we sign a player tomorrow that comes in, it doesn't matter. He goes, this is what I do before the game. They would cater for that. So there's so much to do as a head coach to be able to keep. And you also got to keep everybody happy. You've got to keep everybody sort of involved, even the ones who technically aren't involved. You still got to involve in a way so you don't feel surplus to requirement, is it? It's an incredibly difficult.
Yeah. And that's one of the best things about Liverpool, isn't it, Jan? I think as well, Reds, that the culture that we've instilled, obviously, Shankly and obviously Bob Paisley in that era of football as well. Great footballing sides, Fagan, and the list is endless with great legendary managers, and especially obviously Gerard Houllier coming in the early 2000s, and in what he brought, as you alluded to, a lot of obviously him and Arsene Wenger bringing in from the continent, a lot of the different things we're seeing now in terms of different sports science and everything, and it's a different world now. And yeah, I'd love to. I think we'd all love to have a little bit of the brekkie at the AXA. Anyway, you've got absolutely everything. You got eggs and you got everything that you can say, or your milkshakes and everything. But as we know, they are the best of the best in football athletes as well. You need a nutritionist and everything anyway, certainly. But yeah, it's quickly, I won't rattle through all the comments as well, chat. But thank you, everyone. If you are tuning in live or if you are watching on the repeat, do drop a like on the video as well. First time discovering Anfield Index, Jan and of course Trev host Molby On The Spot every single week as well. So please do get involved with Jan and Trev's and everyone's great content across all platforms as well. Please do. If you want to delve into a bit more as well, head over to AnfieldIndex.com as well. And we've got a champions range as well to very much celebrate Liverpool's 20th league title. If you head over to Etsy as well, search Anfield Index, you can get your hoodies, you get your mugs, you can get absolutely everything really. So, and it goes a long way in terms of supporting everything we do here from everyone as well. So yeah, definitely check that out, Reds, as well. Take your brand spanking 20th league title cup into work this weekend anyway, or whatever, if you want.